waited so long for this.
Certainly a surprise.
What makes someone reach beyond the boundaries of human experience to face the unknown?
Anger can be a weapon. If you control it, use it.
I know it sounds like bullshit.
He's losing it. His body has been infected with a foreign neurotoxin.
What are we waiting for? Let's get out there!
Damn it. Come on.
Follow the warden. No!
He's gone.
He's dead! Hunter! What good is our best now?
No. Finish what you started.
I will finish this. I was an acrobat, you know.
Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the 17th installment of the Learn, Create and Grow webinar series brought to you by Technicolor Academy. I'm your host, Vaibhav Elavadi, Content Manager at Technicolor Academy, and I'm thrilled to have you all here as we dive into the fascinating world of motion capture for games. Whether you're a student, a professional, or a gaming enthusiast, there is something here for everyone. Before we kick off, a little bit about Technicolor Games. Technicolor Games is at the forefront of the games industry, collaborating with leading game developers to build the most innovative experience possible. They work on some of the biggest games in the business, including AAA titles like Gotham Knights with Warner Bros. Games. From animation and VFX to game art and real-time graphics, they bring games to life through artistry, technology, and innovation, delighting players around the globe. Now, to start things off, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Paul Holders, Vice President and Global Head of Art at Technicolor Games. Paul has decades of experience in the industry, shaping the creative vision behind some of the most successful games out there. Today, he'll be sharing valuable insights into the world of game art, specifically focusing on how animators can elevate their work to match the ever-evolving demands of the games industry. Over to you, Paul.
Hello and welcome. My name is Paul Holders and I'm the Global Head of Art for Technicolor Games. My career within the industry has spanned several decades, and I like to think I have a good measure of what's happening within games and where future trends are leading, not least in the future requirements of our talent. Part of my role and responsibility to Technicolor is to ensure that we are continually growing talent and developing the skills of our artists and animators, and that of new animators hoping to enter the industry. One area I am passionate about and like to promote when encouraging people on entering the business as either artist or animator is to build and develop a foundational art knowledge and ability. For many years, technology has played a major role in supporting the growth in the art of games, and in the right hands can deliver astonishing results. But this happens in the hands of skilled artists and animators, people who have taken the time to understand the basic foundational principles of their chosen art form. So when I'm looking to hire future animators, I like to understand what's driving them to enter the industry. Where do their passions lie? Did they as children spend time creating flipbook animations? Or borrow their parents' cameras to experiment with stop motion animation? I want the animators who come to Technicolor to understand the significance of the principles of squash and stretch in animation, who look to the pioneers of animation for their inspiration. Today, it's all too easy to get caught up in the technology of our industry and overlook the foundations on which art within games were built, but to do so would be to our own detriment. What is really going to set the future animators and artists apart from their peers is a foundational understanding of the basics of animation. Things like walk cycles, anticipation, pace, pause, exaggeration, an ability to be a storyteller and an actor, as well as knowing who the key rock stars of the animation world are. People like Max Fleischer, Lottie Reiniger, Nick Park, and Oliver Postgate, Tex Avery, Telly Gilliam, Walt Disney, all people who have had a significant impact in the way in which animation has developed around the globe. And if you don't know who some of these people are, then this can be your first piece of homework. Go and investigate these luminaries of the animation world. Look at what they've created, understand their passions and their need to tell stories through their chosen art form. I promise you, it will be an enlightening path. And now it only remains for me to wish you great success in your chosen career. You're about to step into your own story, and it's going to be a monumental ride.
Thank you so much, Paul, for those incredible insights. It's always enlightening to hear from someone who has been at the heart of the game art world for so long. We appreciate your time and expertise. Next up, we have Selvam V, Animation Director at Technicolor Games. Selvam will be discussing the future of motion capture technology and how it is revolutionizing game development. From precision movements to realistic character animation, motion capture is making waves in the games industry, and Selvam is here to share some cutting-edge trends that you won't want to miss. Take it away, Selvam.
Motion capture has long been a crucial tool in bringing live animations to our favorite games. As technology advances, mocap is evolving in exciting new ways that promise to enhance realism, interactivity, and immersion. Motion capture has long been a cornerstone in creating realistic animations for games, but the future promises even more exciting advancements. Hello everybody, I'm Selvam and I would like to take you through my views on the future of motion capture in games. Real-time mocap technology is revolutionizing player immersion. Imagine a game where your character's movement are instantly mirrored by your avatar. This is becoming a reality with optical, inertial, markerless mocap systems that capture and transmit motion data in real time. Players' actions in VR are translated directly to their in-game pilots, creating an immersion experience where every twist and turn feels lifelike. AI-driven mocap is enhancing character animations and interactions. These algorithms can refine mocap data, smooth out imperfections, and even generate new animations based on existing movements. AI helps to create fluid, realistic character movements that adapt to player actions, making interactions with NPCs more dynamic and believable. Another exciting development is the integration of mocap with procedural animation. Let's understand what a procedural animation is. A technique in game development where animations are generated through algorithms rather than being predefined by keyframe or motion capture data. This method allows for dynamic and responsive animations that can adapt to varying conditions in real time, ensuring that no two gameplay experiences are the same. Procedural techniques are used alongside mocap to create diverse, responsive behaviors in NPCs, making the world feel alive and reactive to player choices. Future mocap technology will deliver even more detailed and lifelike animations. Improved capture systems and algorithms will enable the creation of hyper-realistic character movements, including subtle facial expressions and intricate body language. The future holds exciting opportunities for even more lifelike and dynamic gaming experiences. Let's stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you, Selvam, for that fascinating look into the future of motion capture. It's incredible to see how far the technology has come and what we can expect in the years ahead. Alright folks, Now it's time for something fun, our trivia round. Test your knowledge about gaming, animation, and motion capture with a few questions. Get ready to grab some thrilling prizes. Stay sharp, keep an eye on the questions, and type out your answers into the chat box quickly. Your first question is, what is the process in 3D modeling that involves manipulating vertices, edges, and faces to create the desired shape or object? What is the shortcut to undo an action in Maya? What is the purpose of the bevel operation in Maya's modeling tools? During which part of the 3D modeling process can you focus on proportions, scale, and silhouette to define the overall shape of the model? Question 5. In Maya, how can you add new edges to a polygonal model? Thank you for participating. Last but definitely not the least, we have Lizalette Gracia, a trainer in games animation at Technicolor Academy. Liz will be giving us a behind-the-scenes look at the motion capture process used for Gotham Knights, showing us exactly how game characters come to life through animation. Over to you, Liz.
Hello everyone, I'm Lizalette Gracia and I'm here to walk you through the motion capture technology. Motion capture, also known as mocap, is a technology used to record and translate human movement into digital data. It involves capturing the movement of actors, athletes, or other individuals using specialized sensors, cameras, and suits, and then applying that data onto digital characters to enable photorealism in a virtual environment. The motion capture process typically involves three basic stages. First is capturing, that is, sensing the motion, then processing the sensor data using a computer program and storing it. Markers or sensors are placed on the body or clothing to track movement. Cameras capture the movement from multiple angles. In a motion capture shoot, cameras are placed around the capture volume. Typically, 8 to 12 cameras are used for full body capture. The frames per second, that is FPS settings of the cameras, determine how many frames of data are captured per second. Software plays a crucial role in motion capture. It processes the data, creating a digital representation of the movement. Software receives and records data from mocap cameras, sensors, and other devices. The data is tracked and retargeted with the help of Motion Builder, Maya, etc. Motion data is transferred from one character or skeleton to another, often with a different proportion or structure, using these softwares. By keyframe animation, the software allows editing, refining, and fine-tuning of captured motion data. These stages may vary depending on the specific motion capture technology and application. Motion capture has various applications. Mocap is a popular cutting-edge technique with a broad range of uses in it. Video games, film, and TV animation allows for realistic player movements and character animations. There are two types of motion capture: optical, which is marker-based, and markerless motion capture. Optical motion capture is a type of motion capture technology that uses cameras to track the movement of objects or people. It is a non-invasive and marker-based technology, which means that it uses reflective markers or suits with markers to capture the movement. It can be used in various applications such as gaming, film, sports, and medical research. Whereas markerless motion capture is a type of motion capture technology that does not require the use of physical markers or suits with markers. Instead, it uses computer vision algorithms to track the movement of a person or object directly from video footage or live images. Motion capture is used when we need to produce large amount of animation data with reduced keyframe animation cost. Also, to produce hyper-realistic animation and complex interaction movements with real-time results. Facial capture is designed to accurately record and reproduce facial expressions, capturing the nuances of emotions, lip movements, eye expressions with high fidelity. Like body capture, facial capture can be achieved through both marker-based and markerless systems. For the former, reflective markers are placed on special facial points, whereas the markerless system relies on computer vision algorithms to track facial features. Faceware Analyzer is commonly used in game development, film, and animation production for creating realistic facial animations and analyzing facial performances. Faceware Analyzer workflow begins with the data capture of the facial performance using a camera or other capture device. The range of motion is tracked by accurately placing landmarks in the video capture. The faceware data can be retargeted to a character with a well set up facial rig in Maya or any other software. This data is further refined and polished to create a realistic and engaging facial animation for various applications, including video games and films.
You don't want the truth because deep down in place you don't talk about the parties. You want me on that wall? You need me on that wall? And neither time or inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the land.
Motion capture technology has a fascinating history that spans several decades. Here's a brief overview. Early in the film industry, motion capture was accomplished via rotoscoping, invented by animator Max Fleischer in 1919. Rotoscoping is the process of recording actual footage and tracing over this footage frame by frame. It plays a key role in majority of the animated films we know and love to this day, including Alice in Wonderland and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Rotoscopy enables the animators to trace live action movement frame by frame for use in animation. Rotoscopy works by first capturing a video of a real actor around props that resembles elements of the scene. Animators then trace over each frame of the recorded video. This would result in a figure that moved in a very realistic fashion. Finally, the animated figures would be colored and then integrated with various background layers to create the final shot. Mechanical motion capture using exoskeleton. This technique of motion capture is achieved using an exoskeleton. Each joint is then connected to an angular encoder. The value of the movement of each encoder is recorded by a computer that can rebuild these movements on the screen using software. Optical motion capture. The operating principle is like a radar. The cameras emit radiation, usually infrared, reflected by the markers and then returned to the same cameras. In the 1950s, animator Lee Harrison III developed the first mocap suit. This included potentiometers attached to the bodysuit used to record movements in real time. Present-day motion capture technology has become increasingly sophisticated with the use of markerless tracking, facial capture, and real-time processing. Motion capture becomes a hybrid between live action and ultra-realism. What was once impossible becomes live on screen, and the actor's performance is blended into a digital character. Motion capture is used when we need to produce large amount of animation data with reduced keyframe animation cost, also to produce hyper-realistic animation and complex interaction movements with real-time results. Having said that, let's see mocap in action at Technicolor Games. The Technicolor Games team has completed mocap body and face cleanup for various clients. Among the array of animation services, the most sought-after expertise lies in polishing the motion-captured animation to achieve the most authentic and believable motion capture animation and facial expressions. This focus on realism enhances both cinematic sequences and gameplay, catering to diverse genres like sports and adventure. The current industry trend leans towards creating hyper-realistic, lifelike character animations, aiming to immerse players deeply into a game's narrative. Maybe you recognize some of our mocap work in action across these awesome titles: EA's Dragon Age, EA's Anthem, and Warner Brothers' Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights is a 2022 action role-playing game developed by Warner Bros. Games Montreal and published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. Technicolor Games worked on the in-game and cinematic animation. The team collaborated closely with WB Games on scene building, camera layout, and mocap polish stages. They also provided 6 types of gameplay animation to create the versatile action choreographies as well as outstanding cinematography shots that bring the game to life. Let's look at the Gotham Knights workflow. This scene is an example from the gameplay animation. What you're seeing now is the final output in the game. In this combat sequence, Nightwing performs 4 distinct actions: kicking, stomping, vaulting, and returning to the idle position. We received the animation clips separately, and this compilation is from various takes. First, we see the kick action, followed by the vault, then the stomp. In the last clip, the opponent is knocked to the ground.
Let's discuss some of the challenges we have encountered. Each scene captured individually with actor features separately, even when multiple characters appears together. The animation is expected with start and end with combat ideal pose, but we are facing alignment issue with shoulder, finger, and spine. Moreover, the characters are not holding their weapon as they would in actual gameplay, which affects the overall believability of the scene.
These 4 videos showcase the motion capture takes for the scene files. You'll notice the use of mats to ensure the actor's safety, which, however, presents an additional challenge for the animators. The mats cause the movements to appear bouncy, whereas the desired effect is a solid foot contact with the ground. Unfortunately, all the animation clips we receive will have this bouncy quality, requiring further refinement.
Moving on to the animation polishing stage, we've noticed that the impact of the hit is a bit subdued and the reaction also seems less impactful. The attack has been split into several takes, and sometimes the actors aren't even in the same shot, which makes convincing interactions a little bit tricky.
The initial step involves stitching together individual animation clips for Nightwing, ensuring that the subtle details and nuances from the raw data are maintained. The animator's task is to create a seamless transition between the stitched animations. Additionally, the animators verify that the characters begin and end in the combat idle pose, providing a sense of continuity and fluidity.
To address this, we've adjusted the timing of the hits, jumps, and reactions to make the attack more impactful. Compared to the original footage, the action seems more precise and dynamic now. We've also refined the character's neck, spine, and finger animations and ensured that the props are properly constrained with the character, which is now enhancing the overall visual quality.
The mocap animation data is received with keyframes on every single frame, which the animators then clean up on separate animation layers. The cleanup process strikes a balance between achieving a realistic look and preserving the original data with minimal alterations. This includes animating fingers, correcting interactions, and ensuring accurate ground contacts. A thorough review from all angles is done by the animator. As in gameplay, players can freely move around and view the character from multiple perspectives. Now that we've explored gameplay animation, let's transition to cinematic animation, where we'll delve into the more polished and detailed animations used in storytelling sequences. Let's take a look at this interesting cinematic sequence together. This cinematic sequence features a dynamic interaction between 2 characters, Red Hood and a creature. The creature is suspended upside down, navigating the cave environment by jumping between walls, crawling, and performing quadrupedal sprint before letting out a fierce roar and transitioning into a gameplay mode. This is the final polished result. Now let's take a look at the process behind its creation. What we have here is a series of mo-captured clips. Let's watch the clips. First, we have the actor crawling on the floor, as wall crawling isn't feasible for humans. Next, we see a jump from one side to the other, but the timing is slightly off and the weight of the movement is lost due to safety precautions. Instead of a four-legged run, the actor performs a two-legged sprint, followed by a roll and a return to an attack position. We also have Red Hood falling onto a mat and getting up, though in the original footage, we have actually propelled further through the air. These clips are the source material, and now let's see how we transform them.
So now let's review the final prop play plus top scene, and you'll see significant improvements. The creatures crawl now towards along the wall, and the animation for the character is cleaned up with better posture and body language, and more fluid animation for the fingers, shoulders, and the spine. The creature jumps convey more weight and realism, and its run on all four looks convincing. Additionally, Red Hood's final toss is more dramatic, with the greater trajectory through the air. This enhancement are part of the general polishing the process we apply to the cinematic sequences. Initially, we receive fragmented data, which we then piece together to ensure a well-coordinated sequence.
The process begins with setting up a Maya scene, carefully positioning characters within the camera frame to achieve a visually appealing composition. We focus on ensuring that character interactions are both coordinated and believable. Our camera is placed and animated according to the storyboard, and a previs is created to visualize the action and timing of the sequence. Once the camera work is finalized, we refine the character animations through a blend of motion capture polishing and manual keyframe adjustments to reach the desired outcome. This scene presented a unique challenge, but the result is captivating and distinctive animation style that makes the effort worthwhile.
A distinct realm of our proficiency lies in refining motion capture animation for both gameplay and cinematic sequences. We pride ourselves in the ability to polish motion capture animation up to highest standard. The goal is to always create the authentic body animation and facial expressions that give players an immersive gaming experience across both cinematic sequences and gameplay. This is how our animators breathe life into some of the most well-known games in the world.
Thank you so much, Liz, for that deep dive into the magic of motion capture. It is always incredible to see the process that goes into creating such realistic movements for game characters. Before we wrap up, I'd like to quickly tell you about Technicolor Academy and how we help you take your skills to the next level. The Academy offers a wide range of courses designed to help you master everything from the art of animation to the intricate world of VFX. Each course is designed to provide comprehensive knowledge and practical skills, ensuring that students not only grasp the theoretical foundations but also gain hands-on experience with industry-standard tools and technologies. Our instructors are industry veterans with extensive experience, ensuring that students receive insights and knowledge that reflect current industry practices. For more information, check out our Learning Hub and explore the details of our courses. You can also contact us for any additional queries at the email address shown on your screen. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where we have a wealth of content, including pre-existing webinars that you can dive into for more learning. That brings us to the end of today's webinar. I hope you found it as engaging and informative as we did. Don't forget to register for our upcoming sessions. And thank you again to our amazing speakers, Paul, Selvam, and Liz, for sharing their expertise. We appreciate all of you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you at our future webinars. Until then, keep learning, creating, and growing. Have a great day.